We got another one. Looks like this lady just realized feminism is a lie, so let's just get right into it. Here we go. Up and oh.
I used to believe that feminism is a great thing, just like most women and maybe even most people. But obviously, I changed my mind since I've made multiple videos addressing the dangers of modern feminism. And since it's apparently very uncommon for a woman to be skeptical of feminism, lots of people ask me when I started hating my own kind. Which is a great question.
Bro, the gaslighting, bro. That's why a lot of girls that's why a lot of girls do the hive mind shit, bro. Because if you speak out against what's actually and actually show your beliefs or whatnot, then other girls they're gonna make an example out of you, right? So
I'm kidding, of course, because being critical of feminism doesn't equal hating women. The fact that I even have to explain this is ridiculous, but unfortunately it's necessary in the world we live in today. Anyway, in this video I'm going to tell you why I thought feminism was a good thing, and more importantly, the moment I realized it was all a lie. To give you some context, this is where I live. The Netherlands. I grew up in a very progressive country, so of course in school we also got taught about feminism. But when I was a kid, feminism wasn't promoted as extremely as it is now. It was more like men and women are all equal and women can do everything a man can do. And if you follow me for a while now, then you probably know that I think the last one is debatable, since there are natural differences between men and women. But when I was a kid, this message of women can do everything a man can do really resonated with me because I was such a tomboy. I was always hanging out with boys, getting into mischief, climbing trees, and just doing all kinds of typical boy stuff. I wasn't the stereotypical girl at all, and I didn't like it when people treated me like one. I didn't want to play with dolls, I wasn't into makeup or fashion until I was like 16, and to be completely honest, I'm still not that into it. So I always really envied boys, because they got to do all of the stuff that I wanted to do. At the same time, I was also a very sensitive and empathetic child, which are often seen as more feminine traits. But there wasn't too much room for that, because my father always pushed me very hard, in school and in sports. He really wanted me to be successful, and he almost kind of treated me like I was his firstborn son. And therefore, when I was younger, I used to be extremely ambitious. I wanted to have a very successful career and make lots of money. And I wanted to do all of that while being on a national field hockey team as well. And while doing all of that, I also thought I could be a great mother. Because that is what I saw on TV. And not only on TV, of course. Because there is feminist indoctrination everywhere. The stories of today are almost always based on a strong female character. A girl who has to make it in a male-dominated world. And she always has such a disadvantage just because she's a girl. But she ends up succeeding anyway, despite all odds. And when it comes to romantic stories, it's always the girl who challenges the guy that she likes, and that's what makes him fall in love with her. But what did that teach me? Basically that I need to have a successful career in order to be respected by society, and that I need to go around challenging the guys that I like in order to find true love. And those were actually my beliefs as a teenager. But that's the
see how that works for you, man. It's crazy, man, because the things that we consume and the things that we're fed ultimately make up who we are. Like your YouTube algorithm, your Instagram algorithm, your TikTok algorithm is a reflection of you and ultimately what's going on up here. And ultimately what's ultimately being manipulated and what's getting put up here.
Complete opposite of how I think about those things now. And it all goes back to a very specific moment when I was 16 that completely changed my mind about feminism and my beliefs. You see, my parents' relationship had already fallen apart by then. They were divorced. And the funny thing is that I actually come from quite a traditional household where my dad was mostly the breadwinner and my mom, she worked part-time to take care of the kids. But they had a very toxic relationship and they didn't respect each other at all. And I don't want to go too much into detail about that on the internet. But I saw their relationship and I thought, never in my life do I want such a horrible relationship with someone. And on top of that, I wasn't popular at all in school, also not with guys, and I also got bullied, and I was actually quite depressed as a teenager. I just remember thinking, my life really relationship with someone.
As much as I like to talk shit about women, she seems really fucking cool, honestly. She got bullied? Bro, she's beautiful, bro. She's cute, bro. I mean, like, she's definitely above average, bro. She's cute.
someone.
And I don't even
on
like
top
white
of
girls like that.
I wasn't popular
No
at
racism.
all in school, also not with guys, and I also got bullied, and I was actually quite depressed as a teenager. I just remember thinking, my life really sucks. But around that time, I also discovered self-development content on YouTube. And I was especially interested in relationship stuff because I never really had a good example of what a healthy relationship is supposed to look like. And by accident, I came across this pickup artist YouTube channel. He was a Dutch guy giving dating advice to men. And you know, I was kind of curious what kind of advice men get. So I watched a few of his videos, and to be honest, I was kind of shocked in the beginning because he kind of talked about women like they are objects, which I really didn't like. But the content was all about how to make women respect you and how to approach them in nightclubs and stuff. Which is, by the way, the worst place to meet someone, in my opinion, if you want to meet a high quality person at least. I don't think you're going to find that in a nightclub. But the main thing I realized from watching his content is that men almost don't care at all about your career or about how much money you make. And what I also realized is how hard it is for a guy
She's connecting the dots since, you know, this feminism bullshit that a lot of women are subscribing to. They think that that's a notch on their belt. See, the thing is, bro, they think that the same things they value as women in a man is the same things that men value in women, which could be the furthest from the truth. So that's where the divide is right there. And this feminism shit, career women, all that stuff. Bro, if anything, that actually just makes you more unattractive, more unable to actually raise my fucking kid, bro. It just makes you more masculine, bro. Let's be real. Like, if you want to grind and you want some chasing, climbing the fucking ladder and shit, bro, those are some masculine fucking activities and traits, bro.
Actually approach a woman and deal with rejection, because my god, that stuff is just ruthless. And this is something that most women just don't realize, because we usually don't have to deal with rejection from guys to that degree, and where you almost have to fight for a woman to even notice you. Not to say that women don't deal with rejection, but it's a different kind of rejection, usually later on when the woman realizes that the guy is actually not that serious about her. And I'm not saying that's necessarily always better, because that can also really emotionally damage you, but it's a different kind of rejection. But watching this dating advice for guys really changed my perspective on relationships, because I honestly didn't know what kind of struggles men had. I mean, I was 16, so I probably didn't really know anything about life, but still. And I kind of felt betrayed, you know, as if I was finding out that Santa isn't actually real. So yeah, that really made me start my learnings about female and male relationship dynamics. Because I was very much aware of the fact that everything I'd learned about relationships up until that point was completely wrong. Either from my parents, from school, or from TV. And from that moment, I almost made it my life's mission to not fall into the trap of a miserable marriage. And I've learned so much from basically just watching YouTube videos. Not from pickup artists, by the way, but from more legit psychologists and dating experts. But I think it's very funny that pickup artist content was actually my first wake-up call that modern feminism is actually very toxic. And I was lucky to realize that very early on in my life, because I was only 16 and I hadn't really dated anyone yet, so it was before a lot of damage could be done. The funny thing is that I actually get a lot of comments from people who think that my parents were just amazing and that they taught me all of this stuff, but the complete opposite is true. My motivation for learning about relationships came from a very deep desire to not repeat my parents' mistakes. And I have to say, it worked out great for me, because I actually found love. But if I hadn't done all of that work, I'm pretty sure that I would have gone down a much darker path. And that dark path is actually a reality for lots of women. And for men, of course, but in a different way. Just because people don't know any better. And I would never claim that feminists are bad people. Feminists have just absorbed what their society tells them is true. And you can't blame people for wanting to be part of the culture they were born into. And of course, in the end, we're all responsible for our own actions and for fixing our own lives. Which I personally try to do as much as I can. At the end of the day, I'm just someone who's trying to figure...
Okay, so she didn't really go into why feminism is a lie. But she came to the realization and really just detailed the moment she realized it was a lie. Okay. You can excuse young feminists for being ignorant. The old ones who are teaching the young to repeat their own mistakes because misery loves company actually... No, for real shit, bro. Like Like a lot of it, especially like single mother households and stuff like that, and the shit that they'll tell that their daughters, bro, is really just setting them up for fucking failure, bro. And they fucking know that shit too, because they want them to end up exactly how they fucking are, bro. So that is it's an evil world we live in, man. Women can't do everything men can, and men can't do everything women can. That's okay. The difference is that it's exactly. It's the difference like that make the pair stronger together. And I truly believe that society is best when men and women both work together. You know what I'm saying? Men need women in some ways, and women need men in some ways. What's so fucking hard and wrong about fucking realizing that and admitting that? But the thing is, though, you rarely hear guys saying, I don't need no woman. That never fucking happens. You never hear that shit. But you do all the time hear women say, I don't need no man, bro. So, I mean, fucking delusional, bro. And, I mean, that's actually not delusional. In today's day and age, they technically really fucking don't. The career women, if they really wanted a kid like that, they could just go to a sperm bank. So technically, in today's modern conveniences, they don't need a man. So that isn't cap. It's actually true. But you get my drift. Don't listen to of course. Never listen to a woman's words, actions, bro. Jesus. Smart people learn from their mistakes. Wise people learn from others' mistakes. And I consider myself one of the wise ones because at the end of the day, I'm seeing it. And the game that's around me really seeing played out, yo. But it's your boy DD signing off, man. I will catch you guys in the next one. Stay up, stay blessed, or at least try to. And subscribe to the channel if you are new.